In a world that often values sameness, individuals with unusual biological traits remind us that what is seen as imperfection can sometimes become a defining part of identity when it is understood and accepted. Their experiences encourage reflection on how people adapt to physical differences and find ways to live meaningfully within their own circumstances. This perspective highlights resilience, diversity, and the ongoing human effort to understand life beyond appearances. While most people reach for familiar foods like pizza or fries when hungry, Pakyappa Hunagundi became known for an unusual eating habit involving non-food materials such as bricks, stones, and mud. Reports describe that this behavior began in his childhood and continued into adulthood, drawing widespread curiosity. Medical experts have often associated such cases with pica, a condition where individuals feel a persistent urge to consume non-food substances. His story is frequently cited in discussions about rare eating behaviors and human psychology. Although his habit of eating bricks and stones shocks many people, Pakyappa Hunagundi has described it as part of his normal routine. From a medical standpoint, such behavior is linked to pica and can pose serious health risks, including digestive damage and nutritional imbalances. His case is often referenced in discussions about rare eating disorders to highlight how unusual cravings can affect health and well-being. Once a healthy young computer technician in the United States, Manuel Uribe experienced a life-altering change after developing a severe metabolic condition that led to extreme weight gain. Over time, his mobility became severely limited, and he spent many years confined to bed, relying heavily on family support for daily needs such as eating and basic care. His condition reached an extreme level that drew international attention from medical communities and the public. His story is often referenced in discussions about severe obesity and its profound impact on quality of life and independence. Refusing to give in to his condition, Manuel Uribe sought medical help and followed a supervised diet plan instead of surgery. Reports say he lost a significant amount of weight through gradual controlled changes, gaining global attention as an example of managing extreme obesity. His story is often referenced in medical discussions as showing how discipline and long-term support can help improve severe health conditions. Though Manuel Uribe passed away in 2014 due to complications related to his condition, his life remains widely discussed as a case that brought attention to severe obesity and its medical challenges. His story helped raise awareness about the importance of understanding complex health conditions that can significantly affect mobility and daily life. It is often remembered as an example of how human dignity, care, and awareness remain central even in the face of extreme physical limitations. Eşref Armağan, a Turkish painter who has been blind since birth, is widely known for creating detailed landscape paintings that include depth and perspective without visual experience. He explores the world primarily through touch and memory, using tactile perception to guide his artistic process. His work has attracted interest from researchers studying how the brain adapts to sensory deprivation, particularly in relation to visualization and spatial understanding. His story is often cited as an example of neuroplasticity and the diverse ways human perception can be expressed through art. Zanziman Ellie was born in Rwanda in difficult circumstances after his family had previously experienced multiple infant losses. He was born with microcephaly, a condition affecting brain development and resulting in a significantly smaller head size than typical. Despite the medical challenges, his birth was described by his family as emotionally meaningful, especially after their earlier grief. His story is often shared in discussions about rare developmental conditions and how families cope with both loss and unexpected medical realities. Because of intellectual and developmental disabilities linked to microcephaly, Zanziman Ellie was described as having difficulty speaking and social interaction and sometimes preferring to stay away from crowds. Reports say he often spent time in quieter areas and ate simple natural foods like fruits. Some dramatic claims about extreme physical abilities are not medically verified and are generally considered exaggerations. His story is usually discussed in the context of disability misunderstanding and the challenges faced by people with severe developmental conditions. Villagers reportedly mocked Zanziman Ellie and subjected him to social stigma due to his disability, reflecting deep misunderstanding of his condition. His mother is often described in accounts as having devoted immense effort to caring for him and keeping him safe, highlighting strong parental attachment and protection in the face of hardship. His story is generally presented in humanitarian discussions about congenital disabilities, emphasizing respect, dignity, and awareness for individuals living with severe developmental conditions, and the importance of preventing stigma or mistreatment. Luis Padron is known for undergoing extensive cosmetic and surgical procedures to achieve an elf-like appearance, including multiple facial surgeries and other body modifications. His transformation involves procedures such as rhinoplasty, jaw reshaping, and skin-related treatments aimed at altering his overall look. His story is often discussed in the context of extreme body modification and personal identity, showing how some individuals pursue surgery to match their ideal self-image. Luis Padron is often described as having been influenced by childhood bullying and social isolation, which he says led him to connect with fantasy themes. He later pursued extensive body modifications to achieve an elf-like appearance inspired by that identity. His story is commonly discussed on social media as an example of extreme personal transformation and raises broader conversations about self-expression identity and how people respond to social pressure. Derek Amato is often discussed in cases of acquired savant syndrome where unusual skills appear after brain injury. Reports say that after a serious accident in 2006, he developed an unexpected ability to play piano without formal training. His story is used in neuroscience discussions to explore how brain injury may sometimes lead to rare changes in perception, memory, and creativity, highlighting the brain's capacity for adaptation and reorganization. At 46, after years of living what seemed like a typical life with a spouse and 7 children, Stefanie Walsh made a life-altering decision to openly embrace her gender identity. The response from those closest to her was not what she had hoped for. Rejection and isolation replaced familiarity, leaving her facing profound emotional challenges. But instead of withdrawing, she took an unexpected and unconventional turn. Stefanie began building a new life in a setting where she could feel safe, supported, and accepted, even if it meant redefining what starting over truly looks like. Stefanie's story doesn't end with identity. It takes an unexpected turn into reclaiming the feeling of childhood as a path to healing. Her choices have sparked debate and skepticism about how such a life can truly function, yet she remains steady in her pursuit of inner peace. Her journey pushes us to rethink the limits of identity and consider how much empathy we can offer to those carrying deep emotional wounds. Nathaniel Newman from Orlando, Florida, is known for being born with a rare congenital condition that significantly affected facial development. He has undergone multiple reconstructive surgeries over the years, drawing public attention and medical interest due to the complexity of his case. Rather than remaining out of the public eye, his story has been shared in awareness efforts about rare medical conditions, emphasizing resilience, confidence, and the importance of looking beyond physical appearance when understanding human value. Born in Arizona, Isaiah Acosta entered the world facing a rare and daunting reality without a lower jaw and without the ability to speak or eat in typical ways. But his story doesn't fade into silence. Instead, Isaiah turned toward an unexpected outlet: rap. Through rhythm, creativity, and determination, he found a way to express himself, proving that even without a voice in the usual sense, connection and impact are still possible. Though he cannot speak, Isaiah developed powerful writing skills and a sharp instinct for music. In a move that turned heads, he began collaborating with other artists who perform lyrics he writes himself. Through these partnerships, his thoughts and struggles take shape as impactful rap tracks, showing that a true voice isn't defined by sound but by determination that refuses to be silenced. Isaiah Acosta's journey challenges both physical limits and the assumptions often placed on people with disabilities. He's not just a rapper, he's also an advocate, using his platform to raise support and inspire others facing similar obstacles. His story sends a clear message: when inner drive is strong, even the toughest barriers can't stop someone from making a meaningful and lasting impact. Stanley Thornton Jr.'s story takes a startling turn: an adult man who copes with deep psychological trauma by recreating the world of infancy. Inside a carefully built safe zone filled with oversized cribs, bottles, and comforting routines, he finds relief from the weight of adult life. His choices challenge social expectations and spark debate, yet they also highlight a powerful truth: the human mind will search relentlessly for ways to feel safe and heal. His journey invites reflection while reminding us that such coping mechanisms, including age regression, are complex and not a substitute for professional psychological care. Arshid's story begins with a striking twist of biology, an unusual extension at the base of his spine that echoes traces of our evolutionary past. Far from being just a curiosity, it serves as a reminder that the human body still carries fragments of ancient history. His journey challenges narrow ideas of perfection, offering a different perspective. What makes us different can also be deeply meaningful. In that sense, Arshid's experience becomes a quiet call to value diversity and recognize individuality as something worth embracing. Jonathan Pitre was born with the rare genetic condition epidermolysis bullosa (EB), a disorder that leaves the skin extremely fragile due to a lack of the proteins that hold it together. Often called the butterfly boy, his skin could blister from even the lightest touch clothing movement or a simple hug. Yet behind the layers of bandages was a life defined not just by hardship, but by remarkable resilience, turning each day into a quiet but powerful example of strength in the face of constant challenge. Each day, Jonathan faced a demanding routine of bathing and rebandaging that could last up to 3 hours, a process often described as intensely painful due to the severity of his condition. Living with a body that was always vulnerable to injury, he still maintained a remarkable sense of determination. Rather than viewing his condition only as suffering, he framed it as part of an ongoing fight for survival. His experience transformed hospital rooms into spaces where endurance and courage were constantly tested, leaving a lasting impression on those around him. Rather than retreating from his condition, Jonathan became a powerful voice for awareness of epidermolysis bullosa (EB). His experience extended far beyond his own struggles, reaching people around the world and helping draw attention to research efforts and support for others living with the same condition. Even though his life ended at 17, his story continues to be shared as an example of resilience and compassion, reminding many that the impact a person leaves behind is not defined by how long they live, but by the meaning they create along the way. Every story here reflects the resilience of the human spirit under extraordinary pressure. Each individual has faced immense challenges, yet found ways to turn hardship into courage, creativity, and meaning. These journeys remind us that while limits exist, they are often tested and reshaped through determination, hope, and self-belief. If this resonates with you, you can like or subscribe and comment. strong to join a community that values perseverance and support, and stay tuned for more inspiring stories that highlight the remarkable potential people can carry through adversity.